Caller, you're in the room.
Well, hello, everyone.
Hello.
Oh, my goodness, Rara. I don't know if you were talking about someone's foot tingling in the studio, but my big toe, the top of it, tingles every time I eat cheese, and I just had broccoli cheddar soup.
Okay,
but I don't know, I might just be stretching.
Gosh. Oh, my goodness.
I need like something every time I get it right. Like, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah. Go ahead and give her.
Yeah, well, the way it translates in my body could be any kind of way, right? So if it's your big foot and me, it was the top of my foot. Or big toe. Big foot, bitch.
Big It's one of these mugs, but yes, she's like, is it you? And I'm like, no. It's so crazy because today, her and Angelica, she was channeling on accident because remember whenever you were like, somebody had coffee energy.
Oh yeah, and I was both like, of you.
I was like, I had coffee before I came here. She had coffee.
On the way, I literally messaged Angelica and I was like, bitch, did you drink a gallon of coffee? Because my heart is pumping.
No, that was me. And on top of that, I was running late and I couldn't find my purse. And then I had a irrational fear that I left I left it at Chuck E. Cheese last Saturday or Friday. So I was just like, oh my God, all over plus I was caffeine. Yeah.
Well, I mean, twinkly toe there.
Now, yes. So this is our little baby.
Holy shit.
He just came in like he owns the
Mr.
place.
Fresh, courtesy knock, please. Son.
Sorry, he came in to pick me up.
Sorry, caller, but he said, my most prized possession is in this building right now.
Damn, just forget the kids, huh? No, but okay, so I just want to formally introduce you to this caller. She is a regular. She has a little boy who we call...
Oh, my foot is just tingling. What the hell?
So her son, we call him Nephew Unc.
Okay.
Is that what we call him?
Well,
Uncle
Mr. Fresh said, I'm not going to say
Nuncle.
it. Mr. Fresh can say it.
Nuncle. What are you thinking about?
No. That's exactly what I'm thinking
Nuncle.
about.
So nephew, that's Mr. Fresh. I'm sorry.
That's who was on the phone for
I figured.
preaching his love.
Yeah.
Yes. He asked
my darling.
That's what he's supposed to do. But no. In all honesty, we think her son is reincarnated. He says some of the things an 80-year-old. I'm sorry, about 70. Yeah, I'm like, we tease that he warms his apple juice and
he reads his paper in the morning.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I swear my son's reincarnated too, because by the time he was 3, he was studying the entire nation and was studying 4 languages.
Real quick, before we get to this, because she had the same thing. Did your son, because how old is your son now?
He's now 10.
Did he lose it? Like, did he stop after a while?
The languages, a little bit, yes, but he studies them like a normal kid nowadays. Like, he'll be intrigued by Duolingo. But, I mean, on his picture on his caller ID thing, he changes the flag every time. Right now, it's a Filipino flag. In his room, he has the whole like literally every flag. And he knows everything in the world and could give you like facts on it.
Yeah.
And we're always like, what did you do in your past life?
Right.
Because, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. But she has our little
our nephew, our Nuncle.
Our Nuncle.
Nuncle?
Yes.
Nephew, uncle.
Yes.
Nuncle, I like that.
Yep. But thank you so much for calling in. Please tell me he's told. Please tell me
Please tell us the prophecy.
You something.
Okay, so I asked him prior to this call. I was like, "Do you remember?" Because I know you guys told me to call in when he tells me, and it only happens when he, wakes up. And he told this elaborate dream. I can't remember now. And I asked him. I said, "Do you remember your dream?" He said, "Well, gee, Mom, after 3 days, I don't remember." I was like, "Oh, excuse me."
Oh man!
But it was almost like he visualized, I don't want to say the end of the world, but he was like, all of the adults were gone and the only people left were the kids. And he looked a little disturbed saying it because he was like, Mom and Dad, you all were not there. He was like, but me and my sister were and other kids. And he said,
Jimmy Neutron. Do you remember Jimmy Neutron when all the kids, the parents were
Lord of the
kidnapped
Flies
by
the pants?
Yes, they were. The aliens kidnapped all the parents.
The aliens did. Yep.
Wow, that's so old.
But he's also descriptive. He said, I said, well, what happened to us? He said, this thing that looks like Ocho from Gumball. So I had to Google, what is Ocho character from Gumball? He said, that's what the things look like that took away, got rid
Space
of.
Invaders.
No. I would have been like, son. Nah, what is that?
Oh, I actually just saw someone post on, I think it was TikTok, and they were like, watching this, does anyone else see this? And it looked like that, and everyone was like, oh, that's someone's weave.
Yeah.
Because it was like on a windy day.
Yeah.
But then when I was really looking at it, I was like, I guess that could be a weave.
Yeah.
But then I was like, no, the tentacles were very
Right,
like,
yes.
it looked like that.
It looked like that. No, I know exactly what you're talking
you
about.
do?
Yes,
Okay.
I seen it on TikTok. Listen.
Did you read the comments? Because they're hilarious.
Yes, they don't take any. TikTok is so fucking unserious.
That's what I love about
It's
TikTok.
not even funny.
I love the comment
Yes,
section.
the comments
like,
are
that's
always
rude.
gold. But I know exactly what you're talking about, and I know Lil Man was just disturbed.
He was, and it's gotten to the point now where ever since that dream, he kind of seems like he doesn't like to dream because he looked really disturbed when he was saying that mom
I
and
feel
dad
that.
wasn't there anymore.
Yeah.
I feel that because that was me when I was on antidepressants. I hated taking them because my dreams were so vivid, and for me,
Yeah.
it's like a control issue. But like, I didn't want to go to sleep because I was like, I'm tired of dreaming. So I totally get what he means by that.
Yeah, it's a few medications that have done that to me too. Like I tried to stop smoking and was using Chantix,
Yeah.
and the shit I was seeing in my dreams, I was like, I'm tired, but it's too much.
Yeah.
It was getting out of control. Anytime you take nicotine patches, birth control patches, they
SSRIs.
make you. I don't even know what that is.
That's
but I'm
antidepressant
Oh yeah,
medication.
that too. So I get it. I get it. Poor baby. He also dreamed of dinosaurs too, I believe. I wasn't
Yeah,
here.
they
I
were
was
on
in
Mars.
Miami.
Oh, you
Yeah.
could
Oh
always
yeah,
tell.
did you tell Rara about
What?
when he woke up and was like, "Mom, is this the real world?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" And he was like, "No, this isn't the real world. This is 3D, not 4D." And he said this when he was 4.
What the?
Oh, I love
yes.
that. He
Yes,
needs
I
to be my
remember that.
friend.
I know. He's all of our friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's our dude.
Yeah,
He's so
something. Well,
smart.
when I was younger, I remember getting my diaper changed, and then I closed my eyes and I woke up, and I was already like 4 years older.
Oh, he just
And
jumped to
I-
consciousness.
Yeah, and I never went back.
Yeah.
So that kind of reminds me
wow.
of his energy a little bit.
Yeah. And
That's
you know, it's
crazy.
so crazy because our oldest, he's 15 now. And he says he woke up 7.
Yeah, same thing. So
Yeah.
that I always say, oh wow, that's when I actually hit my body.
Yeah.
Because you know how your soul can connect when you
Yeah.
got into the womb. I don't think I
Wow.
got here then. I think I got here maybe around 2.
I think it's the same thing for me, like 2, 3.
But you know, me too, because my earliest memories, I was maybe a year and a half old. That's the earliest. And I remember some things, like, it's like gaps. Like, I remember events where I'm like, what the hell? Why did I do that?
Yeah.
You know, like, or whatever. And I was little, I was a toddler, but it's never felt like I just jumped into my body. My memories start very early, at the earliest, like a
But
year
you're
and a
like an
half.
elephant, though. You remember a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and I'm like, why? And I wonder why that is, because most people, they don't start remembering things until they're like 4, between 4 and like 6.
Yeah.
But I remember like stuff. My sister, who's in labor right now, shout out to her. I remember her being born, and we're 3 years apart. So you gotta think about it. Like, I was very little.
Yeah.
I remember my brother, who's 11 months younger than me, being little at our birthday party. He couldn't walk, but I could. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah.
like,
That
what
was
the
you
hell?
was like
I
2.
was
How you
staring
remember
at
that?
my body.
That's crazy.
Magic.
Yeah, and I was like,
I'm so
that's me.
glad
Let
you
me
said
just...
out of your body.
Yeah, I was looking at just like how the dream vision I had last night when I was already watching us doing the podcast.
Yeah.
And I was already channeling and all that. So my body was literally doing this in bed, and I was like, "Fuck, I'm doing it again."
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah,
"Can
yeah.
we shut this off?" Because I'm trying to go to bed because I'm not trying to be tired.
And this is
Right.
why you are where you are, because
Yes.
you tried to stop it.
Yeah,
Yep.
right.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
just
Astral
in
projecting
advance.
that light, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, she
That's
watched
crazy.
us do the show with Angelica earlier, or
Yeah.
her show.
And I was like at the top corner right there. But same thing when I was watching myself getting my diaper change, and then I was like, "All right, ready." Like I was looking at myself, and I was at older age, went into my body, felt like I was getting my diaper change, felt like I was falling asleep. Once I opened my eyes, I was a totally different age.
That's
dope.
These
'cause
edibles ain't shit.
That means you can you can suppress all the bad memories. Like, imagine being able to skip through the bad parts of your life.
right.
Like, my
Or,
first memory
little-
was when I was like 4. I was being bad. we was in a restaurant, and my mom was like, "I wish I never had you."
Well, damn.
That's like my first memory.
Right? That's a shitty way.
Bro, what a way to come into
Right,
consciousness.
to come into consciousness.
I'm
But
like,
you were,
well, damn.
literally like, oh, I'm about to just go ahead and flip right into my
Yeah.
body. But I never had that aha moment. Like, there is no way. Me and my brother are 11 months apart. And I remember my second birthday and his first birthday. He was in a high chair crying because he was a damn crybaby. That boy cries so goddamn much. And I'm just looking at him like, it's cake, it's ice cream.
You had to be here because like some of the stories she tells me, like she'll tell me when her mom got into an argument when she was 3. Like I remember my mom was arguing when I was 3, and she punched this girl in the face, and I'm like, what?
And
she
her
was
mom is
cussing
like,
her
what
out.
the
My mom's watching this like, I didn't punch her in the face, first of all.
I smacked her.
No.
I lit her up.
I be remembering that shit. And I'm like, and I usually, like I did a whole video on reincarnation for children. And there is that aha moment. My ass just didn't have the aha moment. I'm just like, been here the whole time.
I questioned that moment or that vision that I've had for so long, my entire life.
Yeah.
And then when I got to the knowing, with the stronger knowing, I was like, that's when I chose to hop in.
Yeah. So do you honestly think before you choose to hop in, that's your previous life?
I mean, I think it's all designed, right? It's
Yeah.
kind of like, it's a complex topic. It's like it was set for you to come in at that time, at that phase, but then the body was already being built to come out, and it was already 2 years young, you know, but wasn't really there yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
But where we
amazing.
were at previously, I mean, maybe I was still dying in the other side and then
Yeah.
transitioned, and then my body over there was already 2 and was like, all right, we're ready.
Yeah.
Come right back.
But you
This
got to think
is-
the moment that she chose to jump in, it set the tone for her life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it really was like the migration of what she would be dealing with for the rest of her life. You know, like your first conscious memory is what you're doing now for real.
Yeah.
Oh, don't say
yeah.
that. Don't say that, Mr. Fresh.
Well, no,
don't
for
say that.
her, that's
Oh, you
kinda
just gave me chills.
That's kind of true.
Oh.
Your first conscious memory is something that you do now.
Yeah, I believe that. And everything
No,
I did
my
then-
first conscious
yeah.
first conscious memory was the transition and coming into this world. Like I remember we were speaking telepathically, and I couldn't see it, but I felt, and they were prepping me for this life.
That's
like they
crazy.
showed me the house that I was going to live in and everything. It was like they were showing me the house before anybody moved in. And this is a thought I have had. My mom said, "Oh, you told me that when you were 4," and I've never ever forgotten it. It's so detailed.
You know what? See,
And they
Keisha,
even
now it's not
told
just
me-
it's not just Nuncle.
Right. You over here talking about
It comes from somewhere.
it's genetic.
From somewhere.
Hey, I
He inherited that.
I had a dream of my boyfriend 1 year prior to actually meeting him.
And you meet him and you're like,
then-
we're going to be together forever. And he's like, what the
Kinda.
fuck?
Yeah.
She's
he's
a
like-
psychopath.
But literally, we were making jokes, and I was
But
like,
no,
"No,
that's-
seriously. Like, have you seen me
That
before?
really
'Cause I
happened,
already
like,
know
what-
you."
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that what you just said is true. Like I am so scared to speak on it because I feel like I'm living like outer body experience. Like what I wanted and manifested. It's like this can't be for real. This is true. This is my real life. Like
Yeah.
it's so weird, and I'm scared to speak on it because I don't want to jinx it. So
Yeah.
I don't speak on it. I just sit back and I just enjoy it. But I'm like, oh my God, this is everything from A to Z that I wanted, that I wrote down, that I manifested ever since being a child. Because no one in middle school is talking about the type stuff that I was talking about. Like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, okay, oh my
Yeah.
God.
I've
This
been
wasn't even the reason why I
manifesting.
called, but oh my God.
I know. No, listen. It's just some of us, we're like super eclectic, and like
I'm just happy to
I've
be
been
here.
quantum jumping, manifesting, scripting, doing all of this since I was like probably 14, 15 years old. So and I've always been spiritual. Somebody in the comments earlier, and I got distracted, was like, was I the only one that was playing light as a feather, stiff as a board?
Oh, yeah.
That's because the
You know
crab
when-
had you on the chokehold.
All the witchy people, like
When Angelica starts her session, she goes, okay, she starts with that
Yeah.
phrase a lot. She
Yeah.
goes, think light as a feather, light as a feather.
right, yeah, and it's like I've always been spooky. I've always loved
Same.
paranormal. I've always been spiritual. I've never not lived this life. Like there's no way I remember.
Do you
some of
remember the
stuff.
show? If you're a '90s kid, do you remember that show Little Bear?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I
They
love
They
Little Bear.
had an episode where they were picking out flowers and making like a stew
stew,
out of it.
yes.
And I went to the backyard and started making my
Hello?
witch stew with
See?
all the plants
Yep.
in the backyard.
And then you taste it, and you're like, oh yeah.
Yep.
And then down the road, here we are, herbology and the life.
Yeah, hello.
It's all
we
connected.
have dandelion.
It is.
In California, or Northern California, we have these things where they look like dandelions, but they weren't. They were actual flowers. We would tie it and put it, like make little tiaras out of it, and then we would get jars and put all the roly-polies. Do y'all call it a roly-poly?
Yeah, you put.
No,
okay,
it's
so
a
you
pot-
just
it's a potato
dug
bug.
these insects.
Yes, we would.
It is a potato bug.
No, we used to. No, you know what? Get
It's
your
not a
Pittsburgh
roly-poly,
ass
it's a
up outta
potato
here.
bug.
That's a New York thing. Okay, moving on.
They must have something else over there.
No, and I've heard of potato. That's why
I've
I said,
heard
do y'all
potato
say it
bug.
like that? But
Pill
I would
bug.
collect roly-polies. We would collect different insects. Unfortunately, I would try to put a cat in a box because, whenever on the craft, they had all the different animals.
Yeah.
So I
Mr.
was
Fresh and I
trying to-
both just did the same thing. I'm like, oh my god,
This is why I'm dealing with what I'm dealing with now, and I'm a grandpa.
you're
a
a grandpapa.
Grandpapa.
Yeah.
At the age of 39.
Hey, it happens to the
my
best of us,
grandkittens
man.
are so cute. But listen, everything that you've experienced in this life thus up to this point was all ordained, and it's like we all agreed to this, except some of us remember those contracts.
Yeah, talking about memories though, real quick, when I was 27, I remembered my first ever friend was my first ghost. And I thought he was so real until when I was 27, memories started to come back. And I realized the things that I didn't realize when I was young. Why was he always wearing the same clothes? Why didn't he ever eat snacks with me? He was just
crazy.
Yeah, he was always just sitting on the couch and watching shows, but he never talked to me.
Her homie was Drop Dead Fred.
Yeah.
So
I love that movie.
I'm like, am I aging myself?
he always wore the same clothes. Whenever my boy cousin, that was kind of like my brother growing up, came over, I'd always be like, oh, we're gonna get to play outside, and then he would never be there. And then plot twist, my cousin, we all had friends in the neighborhood. My friend ghost, his name was Jacob, and I was like, oh, Jacob lives here.
Yeah.
And then my cousin would be like, that's where Joseph lives.
Yeah.
And I'd be like,
No.
no, that's where Jacob lives.
No.
And then one time we went to go and ask, like, to see if they could come out, and it was Joseph, not Jacob. And there was never a Jacob there. And I was like, so
How did that even come up?
crazy.
What unlocked that memory at 27 years old?
because I started writing my own fucking biography because I thought I was weird, and I was like, well, I got to start somewhere. So I started
Right.
writing from everything that I could remember in my old home where everything started, which was in Carson, California.
You're probably wondering how I ended up here.
Yeah,
Right.
and then when I was writing the pieces, my channel started coming and filling in some more blanks, and I was like, wait, so he was dead the whole time? And then they start going, well,
Wow.
duh,
Oh my God.
remember his clothes? And I'd be like, oh, he wore the same thing. And
I
I'd be
just saw
like,
he was braggedy.
Right.
I thought he was just dirty as fuck.
See, that take me back to how high when he was running through the parking lot like, I'm a ghost.
Yes. And didn't even, I can't.
He never biked outside with us. He
That's
never
crazy.
stayed and ate a Twinkie with me.
Right.
Like, he was just sitting there always and was just there for company with me. Because
Yeah.
I grew up as an only child until my brother was born.
Right. What kind of kid don't get you in trouble for eating your mama's food?
Man,
Like, y'all
listen.
eating the
I
snacks
wanted to share
together.
my
Like, he ain't want to eat
when
no
did, when
snacks.
did he go away for you?
When my cousin would come over, that's when I realized he would disappear.
Right. And so you continued to see him up until your brother was born.
Yeah. Well,
That
when
is
my brother
crazy.
was born, I think there was a lot of tension in my parents. So that's when the darker frequencies started to come along.
Yeah.
It was almost like our timeline for being at that house was also done because different things started to surface beyond the energy my parents were creating in the home.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. That is fucking insane. Well, you know what, Miss Keisha.
Can I tell you guys something?
Yeah, go ahead.
I just wanted to tell George. I wanted to tell George thank you for even allowing this call because I just figured I just have to wait till next time. And
He doesn't
I
even have
just
his
thank you,
headphones on. Give
thank
me
you.
one sec.
Yes, and
Oh.
he's yeah. No, I said I was like, no, whoever this is, because we saw you last week, and we're like, we're not gonna make them wait. Yeah, she said thank you, thank you, thank you. He doesn't
Yeah.
have headphones on.
He doesn't
so
have headphones
can't
on. He
hear.
sacrificed them for the greater good of Mr. Fresh being able to hear.
Yes.
Yeah, I appreciate you, George.
Yeah.
Wait, I have one question
I
though.
thank y'all so.
Why does the foot tingle? Because mine has finally left.
She eats cheese.
It's the cheese.
I'm still trying to figure that out, and the
Okay.
only conclusion that I come up with is maybe when I eat cheese. I guess I
Okay,
don't
well,
know
it's,
because that is the only dairy that I can't let go of.
Yeah, and it's only on one side, huh? It's not on both sides.
Yes, my right
Okay.
side.
Yeah, it's only on one foot. So it's a nerve, but I can't really find where that nerve is. But it definitely feels like if it's not manifested up your leg yet, then definitely try to go and figure it out. And I do feel it's dietary, but how like nerves to diet, whatever, how that works, right? I'm
Yeah,
not
I
a
didn't know
doctor,
that was a thing.
But it's gonna grow. So just start figuring it out sooner or later.
Well, I thank you for telling me that because I just found out that my granddaddy's side of the family had poor circulation in their lower legs.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
he
it's
would get a
literally
lot of tingling going up his leg.
underneath the knee all the way down to the top of the foot. So that's how far it could go.
Wow. Well, I will not delay then.
Yeah.
All right, Miss
I'm
Keisha,
on there.
ultrasound is in line for you, ma'am.
Right.
Please say what's up to our nephew,
Our knuckle.
our Nuncle.
Nuncle.
I most definitely will. I know he's not asleep. I tried to put him to sleep, but I know they're not asleep. And the house is awake, guys. The monster house, it's awake.
You know
Something
what?
ran past the bathroom window the other day. It was like white smoke, but it wasn't smeared. It was solid. And I thought it was my son running by the bathroom door in the morning to get ready for school, just laying down wrapped up in his blanket. I heard the noise and everything bump against the wall. And when I looked, nothing was there. But I didn't feel frightened, though. And the black stuff by that door that used to look like liquid, it doesn't look like that anymore. It just looks like a dark shadow on the floor. But I think the house is trying to wake up again. It's
we
like
gonna start a
skeleton
GoFundMe to
key,
get
like what
Keisha
you
out
were
of that
saying
up house.
earlier.
She ain't going.
Skeleton
She
key.
not
That's what
going.
it's got to be.
Yeah, she's not going.
No,
She's
we
not
need to
leaving
start a
the house.
GoFundMe to get Keisha out of the up house.
No,
'Cause
Out of
this-
the up house? You mean the monster house?
Yeah, monster house with the eyes.
Up house wasn't haunted.
I don't know.
No. So I would say, like I said, keep up with your cleanses, all the household members and all that good stuff. Make sure you guys are cleansing.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
getting the energy reset in there.
And for the
Yes,
girls that
most
don't wash their
definitely.
hair as often, wash it a little more often, especially with all this energetic transition in our world.
Yes. Washing the hair is so important.
I ain't got no hair to wash.
You ain't bald headed.
Then you're lucky.
No, I thank you for saying that because, okay, I'm just going to leave it to myself. But yeah, okay.
I'm glad it's
alright.
helping if it does.
Well, thank you.
Thank
so
you for
much,
calling,
Miss Keisha.
and
It's
glad we-
always
we-
a good
we-
And
time.
thank you
stuck you
guys
in.
so much.
All right, we'll
All
talk
right,
to you
thank
next
you.
week.
Yeah.
All right, bye-bye.
Caller, you're in the room.